Hello. Welcome back to Handmaid's Tale, Season 6, Episodes 1 to 3 recap and review. With a new chaotic scheme to overthrow commanders, a behind-the-scenes peek at New Bethlehem, and an enraged coup that nearly eliminates a prominent character, the first 3 episodes of the new season of The Handmaid's Tale that debuted on Hulu at midnight did not let fans down. The following contains spoilers for The Handmaid's Tale, Season 6, Episodes 1 through 3. June is dubious of Serena's actions because she frequently repeats Gilead words, says insulting things like, "praise be," and somehow disrespectfully forgets that June's oldest kid, Hannah, is still ensnared in a patriarchal society. In Season 5, June is struck by a car and breaks her arm. Serena seems surprised by this accident, but Mrs. Waterford soon has difficulties as a result of June's injury. Serena goes above and beyond as usual when she decides to have a doctor examine June's injured arm, but it backfires when the doctor discovers that she is the late Commander Fred Waterford's widow. When he reports her to a war criminal officer and reveals her name to the refugee women, who promptly turn against her, the doctor causes pandemonium. When Serena begins insulting the women, calling them whores, and claiming that God took the country and saved your babies, a reference to Gilead, she doesn't help her own cause. June intervenes to save Serena, pleading with the war criminal to take her into custody, but he declines, leaving the irate crowd to decide her destiny. When the women seize Serena's baby and begin assaulting her in an effort to kill her, June comes to her rescue once more by using the emergency brake. Subsequently, June decides to force Serena and her child to get off the moving train. Instead of reaching Vancouver as planned, the train ends up in Alaska, where June and her daughter, who is with Commander Nick Blaine, Max Minghella, reconcile with her mother, Holly, Cherry Jones, which is shocking. Nick also appears in Episode 1 in New Bethlehem, the Gilead refugee realm established by Commander Lawrence, Bradley Whitford, which has laws in place to protect the former nation's borders but promises more leniencies. Rose, Carrie Cox, Nick's pregnant wife, is furious with him for attacking Commander Lawrence following June's imprisonment last season when he moves into his new house. In Episode 2, Serena is shown to have recovered and settled into a new community, where she reinvents herself as Rachel, a kind-hearted woman. Before being informed that dangerous persons are aware of her whereabouts and will seek her out, she appears to be living contentedly under her alias. She is persuaded to move to New Bethlehem and abandon the community. Once more, Mayday is presented as the covert resistance organization with a grand scheme to eliminate Gilead's top leaders. June's husband, Luke Bankole, O.T. Fagbennel, and her closest friend, Moira Strand, Samira Wiley, are at the forefront of the effort. By the time of this episode, Luke and Myra have already arrived in New Bethlehem and are working to start Mayday. June rushes off to try to talk them down the cliff after leaving her daughter Nicole, whom she shares with Nick, with her mother. Although Episode 2 is a little dull, it's instructive because it highlights June and Serena's contrasts. Serena is traveling on a private flight with her infant, but they are both embarking on new experiences. Along with her child, she also receives another lovely life of wealth in New Bethlehem, where she may see people she knows, like Nick and Commander Lawrence. Because Serena's character is given so many opportunities to change who she is, like a cat with 9 lives, it's quite easy to detest her. June finds out that Serena is present in New Bethlehem. Even though Nick is a commander, he encounters his long-lost love, June, in the woods, and she tells him where Luke and Moira are. Nick is married and expecting a baby. Nick volunteers to assist her when she promises him she will save them. Serena's investment in New Bethlehem is highlighted in this episode. Even though she has only just arrived, she makes a strong speech and persuades the rulers of other nations to accept the idea that the new world is superior to Gilead. In Episode 3, Janine, Madeline Brewer, and Aunt Lydia, and Dowd, return. After being assured that they would be living a better life after Gilead, Lydia expects to be reunited with her girls. However, what she discovers is practically a sex dungeon filled with toys, drugs, and her favorite girl, Janine. Confusion arises when Janine informs Lydia that they are sex slaves for the commanders on the new planet. Lydia claims she was informed that they would receive rewards in the new colonies. "They lied to you," Janine replies, turning down Lydia's assistance. In New Bethlehem, Lydia eventually finds out that Serena is progressive, but she doesn't seem to believe it. When June and Nick finally reach an abandoned water park, they think Luke and Moira are hiding there, but security is on guard. At one point, Nick appears to regret risking his life for June, thinking, "You chose him, Luke." She replies that she still loves Nick but acknowledges that losing her closest friend and husband is impossible. June persuades Nick to carry out the plan and assist her in finding them. Unaware that June is public enemy number 1, security stops them after discovering Luke and Moira in the deserted water park. After telling the three to get into his car, Nick takes a risky move that might reveal his secret. He puts everything on the line for June at that point, even disclosing to himself that he is secretly collaborating with the US government. Nick invites Luke, Moira, and June to the US government in exile's agent, Mark Tuello, Sam Yeager, who cautions Nick from going dark on him again for fear of being exposed. The vexing love triangle is the episode's climax. Nick must return to his fictitious life and his pregnant wife. June refuses to allow him to say goodbye. After saying, "See you later," June gives him a look that tells the audience just who she truly loves. New episodes will be released on the streamer every Tuesday, although the first 3 episodes are currently accessible on Hulu.